Hey everyone, it's the Angry Honey Badger, and it is time for us to take a look at another champion build video. Today I'm actually going to be playing the newly reworked Karma. I actually had a build ready for her before they did the rework, but since I saw that they were reworking her, I decided not to release it because it would become a tiny bit outdated. Although the items that I'm taking for that build and this one, they're actually very, very similar. As much as the characters change in the reworks, kind of the base items you'd normally think about really don't change too much, surprisingly. Or at least that's something I'm realizing. The order changed a little bit, so we're going to go ahead and talk about that. So at level 1, what I'm doing is I'm taking boots and 2 health pots and 1 mana pot, just so I can have a little bit more regen in lane if I can. I try to poke quite a bit with Karma at the beginning of the game, especially with her mantra, or at least the way that works early. Here I'm kind of running away from Nocturne because he's trying to chase me down. Lee Sin's going to come over here. I'm actually going to KS this kill from him in a second. Not that I intentionally did, but my ability is going to miss here in a second, and I am basically just going to standard attack for the kill. I just tried to help, but apparently I really didn't need to. But it's better to split off the gold that way than to, you know, just have one person get the 400. The other person will pick up 200 as well. So splitting off that gold to get the assist actually is not a really bad thing. It actually puts the team ahead in gold. So that's what happened early. It'll help me out more than Lee Sin too, probably, since I am laning against Katarina. But like I said, that's what I start with at the beginning of this game. I also do have double buffs, so that's never a bad thing. Another thing you may have noticed is this game is recorded slightly differently because low replay is broken. So I had to live record some of my Karma games. I had some better ones, but unfortunately I can't get to them because low replay is broken. I didn't know that at the time, so thought I'd show you guys this one. It's pretty consistent to how all the other games were going. Karma's damage is a lot better early than it used to be with the old style of Karma, and I think that's really helped her become more of an kind of AP mid instead of a support. She still does support really well as this new Karma. Some people are saying that she's going to probably get nerfed. I'm not sure that's the case. She is pretty strong. I think the reason why you'd feel like she'd get nerfed is she can use her Q ability quite often. So let's go ahead and talk about some of her abilities and some of that. Gathering Fire is her passive, and damaging an enemy champion with abilities will refresh your mantra's cooldown. So basically that's going to help you get that up quicker. And then as for her Q ability, which is what I do take at level 1, and I do max this out first, what this is, you basically fire a blast of energy that explodes when it hits the enemy. It's going to slow them for a little bit, for 1.25 seconds. If you use your mantra bonus on top of this, which is your ult, you have this at level 1. Basically you activate this to make all of your other skills better. So if you activate your mantra, and then you send out your inner flame, what that's going to do is it's going to hit them, it's going to deal some additional damage to them, it's also going to create an area around where it's going to explode again and deal some more damage, and it's going to slow a little bit better and while they're in that circle. So kind of awesome for dealing a lot of damage. If you max this out first and you hit somebody with it at around level 7 or 8 when it's pretty much maxed, you're going to take about half of their life if they're not building magic resist. So it's very, very strong when you use it with your mantra. So that's something to remember. That's why we max that out first. As for her W ability, this is her focused resolve. Basically, whenever you target this on an enemy champion, you're going to hit them with some AP, some damage at least, and then you're also going to spell vamp off them a little bit. Which is kind of cool. If you do use this with your mantra bonus, oh, and then also if you keep it on them for 2 seconds, it's going to stun them. Kind of awesome. Or root them, not really stun. And then if you use your mantra bonus, basically what it's going to do is deal some bonus damage and heal you for 25% plus 1% of the 100 ability power that you have. So that is when it's actually going to be healing you, not during just its normal form. And then as for her E ability, which is actually her Inspire, this is what I typically will max out second. This is her shield. And you can also put this on teammates on your team, which is kind of awesome. And so you can shield them. If you do that, it's going to be awesome. If you're going to use your mantra before that, it's going to deal damage. So you can basically use that, and then you can speed up basically everybody in the whole allied area. If they're all close to you and you put that on an ally, if you use your mantra, it's going to speed up everybody movement-wise and give them a shield. So it's pretty awesome to speed up a whole team. And then, like I said, it's just going to give you that shield, and it's going to speed you up a little bit. So it's kind of nice for initiating. It's kind of nice for blocking attacks. It's just good overall. It's just pretty awesome. So the game's been going on a little bit, and I have built a Chalice of Harmony, and that's going to be my first item just so I can spam like crazy. Luckily, I do have a blue buff too. Here, I'm going to chase Katarina just a little bit. I'm poking at her. I'm dealing the damage that I can. don't be afraid to poke people with your standard attack while you're in mid lane if you are an AP caster. I think a lot of people forget that they only poke with their abilities and not with standard attacks. If you got a little bit better range than them for your standard attacks, do not be afraid to poke them. A lot of the AP mids do not come with very much armor at all, and since all of your ranged standard attacks are physical damage, that's really, really going to hurt them. I think most of the mids start with 14 armor. So here I'm putting that W on him that will stun him. I'm going to send back that Q, which will slow them down. Just kind of give me some space. Katarine's going to take one tower hit and some minions, so I'm going to pick up the kill on that. Luckily, she just barely overcommitted, and the new towers do hurt quite a bit. Lee Sin sitting over here on the side, and we do have Renekton coming down from top lane. Nocturne's just kind of pushing the lane. I think he probably thinks if I come out here, he can kill me. Little does he know that Lee Sin is now going to move in, and Renekton. I want an assist on this, so I'm going to send my shield to one of them with the mantra activated, pick up some damage on top of the Nocturne and shield those guys. Didn't really need to do it, but, you know, it picks up an assist for me, and that's just one way that you can help your team out, kind of protect them a little bit, deal some damage too. I've actually picked up lots of kills by using your mantra on your shield, and you'll pick up kills without even trying because it does a lot of damage, surprisingly, to that area. So just another thing to consider while you're playing her. Like I said, since LoL Replay is broken, this game is recorded by the view that I would normally see. You can see me clicking around and all of that good stuff. So that's what's happening. You can see me buy my items. One of the next items that I do like to pick up fairly early is actually a Haunting Guise. Pretty good item, considering I don't build the magic penetration boots, so I don't get the magic penetration that way like most casters normally would. I'm going to go with the cooldown reduction boots, and so I'll pick up some magic penetration through this Haunting Guise. It's going to be a great item. It's going to also give you some health early on in the game, and health's never a bad thing, because I'm not going to be building too much immediately on Karma. I'm just going to get a lot of utility things that are very, very helpful for her kit. Going to be building this on later to a item that I think a lot of you are probably familiar with now in Season 3, but that's what's going to be going on so far in this game. Also, to pick up another health pot because that's very helpful. Now, changes that I would complain about to the new Karma. I was not used to it at first. Didn't really like it at first. I'm okay with it now because I've gotten used to it, but here I'm actually going to poke at Katarina real quick because, you know what, she has been playing really safe this game. I'm just going to murder her. I'll take a few tower hits, that's fine. She's been playing safe because I have been poking at her alright and fairly well. I'm farming okay as well too. So just thought I'd kind of make that a kill that I wanted to get. But as for the things that I would complain about for Karma, I just wish I had that big area heal for the team. That's about the biggest thing I miss from her kit, from her old kit. I didn't actually think her old kit was bad. I just think it was a bit harder to play, and that's probably one reason why a lot of people didn't play Karma or play Karma very successfully. So I think that's one reason why Riot has gone under these changes for her. So I do like the way the new model looks too. It's very, very nice. So was back at base just a second ago, and I did pick up a blasting wand. Gonna start picking up some more of my damage. I do have some of my utility. I have a good amount of mana regeneration with that chalice. I do have some magic penetration, a little bit of health. So we're just kind of slowly stacking up. Not buying one specific item outright with Karma. Kind of picking up all the in-between stages of a handful so we get well-rounded as a mage. So there's all types of stuff you can do to clear minion waves quick. You can use your mantra and then your E to use that shield to deal that extra damage around and pick up minion waves quick. You can use your mantra with your W to get that area around them and kill the minions. That's another thing. Old Karma cleared minion waves probably the fastest out of anybody. It was outrageously amazing. So unfortunately, she doesn't have quite the ability to do that now, but that's going to happen, and it's something I'll have to live with for now. But nonetheless, the rest of her kit does deal a lot of damage, and it does feel rewarding to play it right, at least, or to get some good success off with it if you're getting used to it. So that's what's going on. So we're still building, we're still doing all that, we're still getting a little bit of fights, we're poking down enemies. I love that her Q does now slow if you hit them with it. It is a skill shot, so you gotta be careful about that, but I mean, I just picked up a kill with it because I don't usually have too much problem with it. We're going to dive this a little bit. I did put my shield on Renekton, so those tower hits basically almost did nothing to him. Picked up an assist in the kill real quick. We're 4-0 and 3 right now. 100 plus farm, 17 minutes in the game, so we're doing okay. Just poking at them. I will say Karma does have quite a lot of poke now, and that is one awesome thing about her kit. You can basically spam that Q, especially with the cooldown reduction that we will be picking up with the boots and with another item that we're going to be going for. So it's basically, once it's maxed out with your 2 cooldown reduction items, you'll be at 39% cooldown reduction. If you have a blue buff, obviously you'll be at 40%. That's the maxed out cooldown reduction that you can get. There I did KS Renekton there. I apologize for it. Didn't realize that he was going to die that quick because Renekton is doing really well on our team so far. And I was like, you probably had that. My bad. But he's like, it's all good. So, once again, KSing shouldn't really be a huge issue. The Renekton on the team, he's not a friend of mine. I have a couple friends in this game. You might hear some chatter in the background from the live recording since it was picking up Skype. But I think most players who just want to win games, they're really not going to fuss over KSs. Renekton's a kind of a tanky brawler. Doesn't necessarily need to get super, super beefy fed. Obviously, he'll destroy if he does, but he's already doing super good. He's 8-1 right now. He did great in his lane, so he's not too worried about it. The only time I'd ever really get mad if somebody's really KSing is if the support is consistently doing it. So that's about the biggest time when I complain about KSing. Other than that, let's just get the kills and win the game. I'm going to pick up the assist here on the Blitzcrank. Lee Sin's going to murder him real quick. I'm going to poke that Caitlyn, I think, or she's going to take a little bit of damage, but I'm not going to initiate. Here we're going to get a little bit careless in a second, and I am going to kill myself. Basically just kind of tanking a fight because I haven't died, and when it gets to this point, you know how people get a little careless. I do that as well. Here I'm just kind of chasing a Caitlyn who has an Infinity Edge, who probably could poke me quite well, but I'm just doing what I can to poke at them. But that last time back, I did pick up a needlessly large rod. That is actually going to be going with that blasting wand. We're going to be picking up that death cap. Just kind of get the half parts of those other parts of the build. And so we can pick up that death cap so we can start to get some of our damage because that will hurt. Katarina's going to ult on me here real quick. I'm going to get in the middle of all three of them. I wanted to kill Caitlyn, but she's just barely going to lifesteal out from dying right before the last part of my Q with his mantra went off. So I will pick up my death cap now, though. I will pick up a handful of assists from that fight, though. So not too bad, really. It's going to happen, but that's fine. It's a video game. You're going to die. So we're doing all that fun stuff. We are maxing out our Q, like I said, and then followed by your E, which is your shield, and then finally you'll max out your W last, or at least that's the way I like to do it. I think it works well. As for my masteries page, it's pretty standard AP mid stuff. It's like the 2109. Pick up some of that stuff, the utility that's going to help you with a little bit of move speed, and then the mana regeneration, and then obviously in the offensive tree we're picking up all the damage that we can. Renekton has been running back from top lane this whole time. He did finally die, and I think Lulu is going to die. And now we're just going to chase Katarina as she jumps away, but that will happen. So while I was back at base, though, when I finished off that death cap, I did pick up another amplifying tome. This will be going towards, well, it can go towards a few items, because at this point, now that we have our main source of damage as our death cap, and obviously as we keep building AP, we're going to continually get that bonus that the death cap gives you. So we're going to go ahead and finish off this Chalice of Harmony into an Athene's Unholy Grail. And that is going to give us some bonus cooldown reduction. It's going to help us with all types of mana regeneration and some AP damage. Here, I think I'm going to get away. No, I'm going to get murdered soon. I know it's going to happen. That happens. And then, so that's one item that we're going to pick up, which is going to be very helpful. And then we are going to also be then taking that Haunting Guise, and we're going to be building that into a Liandry's Torment. And that is a really good item now. And typically on old Karma, I'd have to build a Rylai's Crystal Scepter to really get the max benefit out of this item based on its stats. So if somebody's slowed or stunned, you get the bonus damage out of Liandry's. Luckily, since your Q does slow, that is going to be one way that you don't really have to, because you're going to have more CC built into your kit. And also, now that your W does stun, if you leave it on for that certain amount of time, you're going to get the bonus damage procced from Liandry's on that. So luckily, we don't have to build Rylai's right away. If you want to build that as your very last item, not a bad idea. If you want to pick up a Guardian Angel, obviously that's going to be a good idea as well. And then one item that I sometimes pick up early, just depending on how long laning phase goes, and I haven't built it yet, I'll pick up a Hextech Revolver as just kind of another middle item. I won't build that into a Will of the Ancients right away, but that's another item that I will pick up with Karma. And the one thing I do like to do sometimes with these half supports that, I mean, they can play support and they can play the AP mid. They're just kind of both. I like to pick up one item at least that can kind of help out the whole team. So a Will of the Ancients is one way that everybody can get some AP when we're all together, and then also I'll get some Spell Vamp as well. So never a bad thing at all. Luckily, the Lulu's going to pick up the triple kill. There's your support killing everybody, but that's fine. She actually has a little bit of damage, and when you're the only one left, you got to kill him, which is good. So that's what we're doing. I did finally pick up that Liandry's Torment, so I'm going to be doing that damage over time based off of their health. So that's going to be great, and like I said, it does deal bonus damage if they are slowed or stunned. Basically, CC makes it hurt more, so she's slowed, she's going to take more damage. Now she's probably going to get stunned and get killed, so he's going to pick up the kill real quick. I'll pick up the assist, no problem there. Going to go ahead and keep poking down Adam. Luckily, he is super tanky, because super tanky Renekton's pretty epic. I think he's going to get away. Yeah, no, yeah, I'm going to block the shot by the Caitlyn and keep going for the kills. Luckily, Caitlyn picks up the kill there on Blitzcrank. And I did my job of not only being kind of our mage to deal some significant damage in that fight, but I also did help support because you have a support-like kit, you have a shield, and I was blocking shots, so you can kind of use yourself still like a support even when you go full AP mage. So that's kind of what's going on with this game. This game's going to probably round out pretty soon. Not too much to do at this point. Die a few more times maybe? I don't know. Kill them a few more times? They're probably going to surrender. Seems to be the most typical thing most teams do at this point. Still building towards that Athene's Unholy Grail. Almost got it. Not quite. Me and Lulu are going to then speed ourselves up together. I can speed her up. She can speed me up. I can speed each other up. All types of fun stuff. So enjoy that while we're running back up to where we're going. And, yeah, that's pretty much the build. So it's going to be the cooldown boots, it's going to be the Athenes, it's going to be the Leandries, the Death Cap, the Will of the Ancients, and then late, if you want to pick up Rylai's Crystal Scepter, that's going to be a great item. Not only gets you a little bit more beefy, which that health's going to help out, but then you're going to be slowing them with everything whenever you hit them with an attack, and really slowing them a lot more, and picking up some more AP as well. So just some good stuff there happening, and I think it's a solid build. It's very similar to how I was building her before, and it was working well with old Karma. It seems to be working well with me for new Karma, so that's what's going to be going on with all of that. As for my runes, I'm pretty much going with Magic Penetration Marks. I'm going with Mana Regen per level seals. I'm going with AP per level glyphs. And then I'm going with AP Quintessences. So here we're going to blow up Katarina real quick. Lulu's going to pick the kill up for the Rampage, which is hilarious. And but you can see how much that Q hit when I used my mantra on that. It is pretty awesome. But they're going to go ahead and surrender. That's going to be game. If you have any questions, put those in the comments below. But other than that, I'll just see all of you guys in the next build video.